something I believe really strongly is it's far easier to use a billion excuses and point fingers at the industry, at every single person and situation around you. And that is not to say that people and situations don't suck sometimes, because they f***ing suck sometimes. But if you believe in you and you love you and we have hard days with that too. Like, that's a hard thing. That's a practice.
Yeah.
But if you can get to that place where you trust what's here, you are the biggest reason you're either never gonna get where you wanna go, or you're gonna live exactly the dream life that you wanted. It might look like details might be a little different than you expect them to be.
Right.
Your way in might be totally different than what you thought it was gonna look like. But you will be the biggest reason that you get there. So you'll also equally be the biggest reason you don't.
Hey there, welcome back to the DNA Podcast. I'm your host, Douglas Nyback. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Sarah Fisher. And listen, I have known Sarah for a long, long time. She played Becky Baker on the hit TV show Degrassi, The Next Generation. She's currently on When Hope Calls. She produced and starred in the feature film Kiss Cry. She starred in the movie Someone Like You, which released theatrically and was a very big success in 2024. She's an incredible actor, a wonderful human being. She's quite literally the kindest person on the planet. And here's the thing, I didn't think it was real. I had worked with her for years and I was like, this niceness, this has to be a bit. Nobody can possibly be this nice. And then I went and did a movie with her in Cuba where I spent 3 weeks with her, and it turns out, in fact, it's not a bit. And she's just the nicest person ever. She's one of the most technically aware performers that I've met on camera, while somehow also having the world's most open heart, and so much success is coming her way. I'm developing a couple of series with her. We're writing together. Like, she's a dear, dear friend. I mean that when I say it. She's one of the funniest people that I know, which you will find out on this podcast. So please subscribe to the podcast. If you're here on YouTube, click that subscribe button and the like button if you can. If you're here on Spotify or Apple, rating us 5 stars and following the podcast. These things go so far in helping us out. And I really, really appreciate it. So, all right, let's get into it. Sarah Fisher, my friend, hello.
My friend, hello.
I'm so happy to have you. I feel like from the very beginning of this podcast, we've been trying to, like, when you're in town.
It's been years.
It's been almost a year.
It really has been. We've tried for so long, and here we are. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, me too. So I start this whole thing and I record the intro separately, so I'll just say a bunch of nice stuff about you. And
oh my God.
It'll be hard to dig deep.
Correct.
But we'll do it. So I want to just, like, you and I have so much to cover because we actually talk all the time because we're developing a couple of series together, and I want to just, like, start by saying that I think you're so phenomenally talented. And this is one of those things that this podcast has allowed me to do, is, like, talk to people who, in a lot of cases, I know pretty well, but I don't, like, walk around all day, like, talking to you and being like, hey, you're really talented, but you are.
Well, you should.
I know, I agree. I agree. And you're incredibly funny. You've become, like, a really, really wonderful writer. Like, I've watched you, like, grow so much as a writer from, like, when we first started working on pilot season to now. And you're both a phenomenal comedic actress and an amazing dramatic actress. And it's just super cool to know you. I'm a big fan, on top of being your friend.
Same to you, my friend.
That's nice.
Well, and for you,
Doug, I have some notes.
No, I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, really.
Yeah, that's nice. Sweet. So listen, I guess my first question is, how the did you get so good at everything?
Well, shoot.
but in all seriousness, I kind of have known you because I've been around for a lot of your journey, because you came up like entering into the industry at Armstrong and stuff. But I don't really know, like, what got you into it all. Like, so talk to me about how you started in this crazy adventure we call acting.
Yes, sir. Well, I had always been a musician. I had been a singer since I was a kid.
Right.
And I started songwriting when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. I would literally leave, like, the school would call my parents and be like, we lost Sarah again. And they'd go to the theater, and I'd be on the piano writing music. I had a teacher once actually go, I went up to him and I said, listen, I said, Mr. Hammond, if I don't write this song, it's not gonna happen. And he was like, okay, fine. Well, can you at least show up by the end of class? I said, I'm going to try. And I skipped class constantly to write music. So I've always been, I would be in competitions. I did Qantas Festival. Like I was constantly recording music and writing, doing all these things. So my world was very creative, but in that pool for so long. And after high school, when I graduated, I had a gap year. And that purpose was, I was kind of just trying to figure out, okay, university music, but if I want to do singing and songwriting, then what does that look like? Do I need to go to university? What does that mean? Right. So I decided to take a gap year. But turns out after, after being in high school and having like a set schedule for a billion years, you do you do nothing when you have freedom. Because I thought I'd be really productive in this gap year, and I was doing nothing. And I had a friend of mine, I had done some modeling. I was with Elite Models, Elite Management,
Me too.
Great, stunning, amazing. We did some shoots together, didn't we? No, but I had a friend who was a model, and she was actually the one who approached me and said, do you want to try an acting class with me? And I was like, I'm not doing anything else, so sure. Okay. I love being in front of the camera. I love performing, okay. So after an introductory, it was I can never remember if it was 1 or 2 intro classes, but I did an introductory class at Armstrong Acting Studio, and was encouraged by Dean Armstrong to seek representation. And I actually first said no, because I kind of laughed and was so moved by it and was like, oh, that's really awesome that you see potential here. But I was like, but I'm not good. I don't know what I'm doing. Get me back in class, because I don't even know if this is what I want to do. I really don't know. Right. So I went back into class.
So did it bite, did you get hooked immediately, or was it something that you
I was interested in it, and I was excited about it, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't know what it was to me yet. I don't think I knew. But when I had started in another class again, I was approached again going, no, we've got meetings set up. We're going to go. Right. And I was like, okay, trust your gut, trust what the universe is telling you. And I was like, okay, let's just throw it all away. Let's dive in and just see what happens. Right. So on a Friday, I had my second meeting with an agent, and I had a few the next week. But on the Friday, I met with this agent, felt really good, and said, we have a couple meetings we're going to do next week, and then we'll get back to you, but we love you. We think you're fantastic. So we left. This was my second meeting with an agent. We walked down the stairs, went out to the car, and Lorraine, my mother, who's just the best woman ever, goes, we need to sign today. And I was like, Mom, now it's getting weird. I'm like, we've just left, made it very clear we're going to get back to them later on. This now feels really awkward to go back up in and go, excuse me? It just felt weird. It just felt weird. And I was like, I don't know. But we always trust Lorraine and her gut, because it's always right. So I went, okay, let's do this. So we went back in, knocked on the door awkwardly, walked in the room, and said, you know what? We don't need more meetings. We're signing today. We think you're fantastic. And, they were all like, that's great. We're excited. And they just said, we actually have an audition for you on Monday. Nice. And that audition was Degrassi for Becky Baker. Yeah. So
Mama Fish.
Look at her. So then Lorraine. We love that woman. We really do. She's the best. Yeah, but
she finds her way into all of our scripts.
She really does. Yeah. She really does. She's such a character. Yeah. She's so great. She's brilliant. And so we signed. I auditioned for Degrassi 4 times. I was told at one point near the end it was between me and one other actor.
You were about to be like some.
And we're great friends to this day. Yep. No, I'm kidding. No, I actually in my third audition, my first 2 were an audition. My third was a chem read, and my fourth was a chem read. And with Monroe Chambers, who plays Eli Goldsworthy, Eli Goldsworthy on the show. So he's one of the most popular characters on the show, great human. But I obviously didn't know him at the time. It was my third audition. And because this was my first audition, I didn't know what I was doing. Right. So I went around wishing everyone good luck, which everyone's probably in their process. And I'm like, hey, we're going to crush it in there. Just talking with
whispering
everyone.
Lines to themselves.
I'm like, do you want to run it? Do you want to run it? And they're like, stop.
She's trying to f me up. What is happening right now?
But I just genuinely, nice. I didn't feel, the weight of it all and how big it was, because I didn't know any better. So I passed Monroe going pee. I passed him, and I like patted him on the back and I said, "Hey man, good luck in there. You're gonna kill it."
Nice.
And then I go in and they go, "Sarah, this is Monroe Chambers, who plays Eli Goldsworthy on the show, and he's gonna be doing a chem read with you today."
Right.
And I did the, "How do you do?" And I was like, oh my God. I just wished one of the stars of the show, good luck on his audition.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he could have really bombed. Could have bombed the chem read.
I mean, it's true. No, but I remember I was after all 4 auditions, I was just waiting, and I knew it was between me and one other person.
Right.
And all I could say to friends and family was, I can't wait to see her, and go, man, I was really close to that. Because I was like, I'm not getting this. I'm not going to book this. There's no way.
Right.
And so I kept thinking that way. And then I got a call from the agent, and they just said, they were like, it's my birthday. Gave me the best birthday gift. You know what it was? And I was like, what? They're like, you booked Becky Baker for Degrassi. You're going to be in Degrassi: The Next Generation. And I dropped to the floor. I don't know what the reaction was. Right. I was like, oh, and I just fell.
Goodness.
Oh God. I don't know why, but I was so shocked. And then they said, and you've got a read-through today. Nice. And at the read-through, I looked at the actors beside me and I went, so I just read and I'm good? Like, what else do I need to do? Like, I had no idea what any of it was or what any of it meant. And it is the best way I could have entered this industry. And it's so nice to say what I'm about to say and mean it, but Degrassi is forever home, and the people of Degrassi are, and that includes people behind the camera, in front of camera, like all the other actors, the fans. It is all family to me. And I genuinely mean that to my core, and it's very cool to be able to say that.
Well, and I feel like the fan base really embraced you and like has been very kind to you ever since. Like,
oh my
I would
gosh.
imagine, like, not everybody's kind, but like,
no,
in general.
absolutely. I was doing an interview for a Degrassi podcast a month or two ago. The second I saw that she was like, I've got a bunch of people I really want to interview with, I was like, done. Like, let's go. Any reason to talk about that show and that experience, I will dive into right away. So it was the most magical way to learn about acting because I learned on set. But I was still doing classes at Armstrong. By no means.
You kept in class.
Well, yeah, because I was like, it's silly of me to assume I've got the goods. That I'm a beginner green actor. I have no idea what I think, and I kept doing classes constantly when I was on the show because I wanted to get better, and so I didn't stop, and I was learning on set as well, obviously, and what a beautiful way to be welcomed into the industry. I'm just forever so grateful. I don't have any great enough words to describe how much it changed my life on a personal level and career level. It was just, Mom and Papa Degrassi are great humans and really take care of their people. So,
and they've been really kind as well. Like they've read and given notes to like some of our writing and all that stuff. Like taking time to continue to support has been like super wonderful.
Yeah, the family continues on. Like, it doesn't stop when you're off the show. When the show's done, nothing changes, and that's a really special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always like it's always kind of tough, or can be anyway, like having a run of a show like that, and then moving into the next stage of your career. So how was it like, transitioning out of Degrassi and into whatever came next? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Because again, I know I think you were still on Degrassi when you and I started coaching together.
I think so.
And you had gotten US rep, and there was a period of time there where like you were coaching like nonstop. Like, I would see you so often. Yeah. And sorry, I'm going to hijack the conversation for a quick sec because it's all about me. But one of the things that I found that you were really, really adamant about early on, and it's like you had the show, so you had resource, like, and your willingness to reinvest that resource into yourself. Like, one, you were continually in class, but two, whenever we taped for something, if it was something that you really wanted or like really, really cared about, you always like took as much time as you needed to not feel stressed, even though that costs more money. And it was something that I was always like, well, this is really smart of her because it just allowed you whatever space you needed to put forth the best product. And for you, it seemed like it took the pressure off, which I just thought was so smart.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, not everyone's going to be able to do that, but I think that there's a lesson in like not rushing yourself, not feeling like I got to get this done right away.
Yeah.
As opposed to like allowing yourself to feel it out. So even like early on, it seemed like you were mindful of that. Like, how did that come about?
I think I just feeling stressed with time really took my head out because I had a clock. And if I had a clock, it was really hard to completely dive in.
Right.
And I'm aware that on set we have a clock sometimes too. And so as, you know, for actors, I think we're very good at being able to ignore that to a degree and be able to just dive in and recognize that the sooner I can dive in, the sooner we can beat the clock and like be in a good position. But for an audition, I went, oh, I have control over this. So I know that when I work the scene and the beats and like we mess around with it and stuff, when we're done with that, we usually have the fun take.
Yes.
Where we throw it all away because we've learned it. We finally have in a complete way have gotten it on its feet. And I have felt where it sits physically, where it sits in my voice. And like so I feel really comfortable in a different way where it's just not quite the same to prep when you're in your own space at home, you know, trying to prep. You know, the lights are on, we're in it, we're doing it. So by the time I've worked and done a take that I could just go, great, wrap it up and send it, I go, now let's play. So I know that I need the time to be able to get it to a tight version of what I think this scene is and what it needs to accomplish. And then I can go into, now throw it all away. Fuck it, let's go. Like, let's go. And that's what, and it's so nice because we're such good friends too that it was always so fun and easy to do that and so safe to just dive into whatever that was and to have fun and play.
Yeah, I feel like there was always a lot of space for imagination, like, and creativity, like being like, what if we try this? And very often it led to like bold choices. Yeah. Or even just random choices that like ended up getting referenced. Like when you booked stuff or got really close to things.
Absolutely.
We love that you did this thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it like, that I remember as I was growing as a coach as well, like those things acted almost as like positive reinforcement to me, because sometimes it's like every now and then I would be like, make bolder choices with clients and be like I think this is working, but like, does this really work? And it's always like easy to be like, I find one of the traps of coaching and acting in general, especially auditioning, is like you can do incredible work, but what it does is it like causes you to blend in because everybody's doing really good work, and like imagination, creativity, willingness to be like, okay, we have it, and now let's push against the parameters that we built. Yeah. I think just watching you as you've grown and like come up through the industry has served you extremely well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so talk to me about like post-Degrassi life. Like, did you go through a period of not booking a ton? Like, I feel like you were always busy, but like that doesn't mean that there weren't droughts. I'm trying to think of one of the first things. I'm pretty sure during Degrassi it might have been. The first movie I ever did, I Just Get Killed. It was so much fun. What was the movie?
Lost After Dark.
Okay.
And it was a blast.
Okay.
It was a blast and a half. And it's one of those things where like the next movie is going to be a spinoff about you, and I'm like, no, it's not. I appreciate you, but it's not. But no, I think Full Out was one of the first, which was ended up on Netflix and Disney, Family Channel, and that was with Anna Golia, who's from Degrassi. So it's so interesting how I after it was kind of woven in that every now and then I'd work with a Degrassi actor, which was cool. But yeah, I think that was one of, if not the first movie after, and I was really excited about it. It was a blast. And yeah, I mean, it's that thing where like, it's such an incredible thing to be able to dive into working right away. Yeah. But it sets you up for this idea when you don't know any better, you don't know anything else, that you're just always going to be working. I'm like, oh, well, if someone at the time was like, what are you going to do next? I'm like, well, probably just work. I didn't know what it meant. TV, you know? Yeah. Like I didn't know what that looked like, what the process looked like. So I I did #ROXY, which again I think ended
Yeah, I
up on
remember that.
Netflix, and I can't remember exactly where else, or maybe Amazon as well. I'm not sure, but I did ROXY, which was such a blast as well. Such a fun story to tell. So I was in and out of working on these projects that I was really excited about, that were really fun and really enjoyable. And I did some projects that were in the thriller world, and what those taught me, because they're a hustle and a half, you're in every scene all day, every day, for anywhere from 12 to 16 hours, and the turnarounds don't matter. You go right from wrapping to starting as early as they can possibly legally in our industry pull you. And every scene is life or death. And when you care so much about every scene you do being as great as you can make it, it was very demanding, because I cared so much. I wasn't gonna be like, I can get away with not diving all into it. I was all in for everything at all times. I never wanted anything to be less than the best I could do in that moment on that day.
Right.
So it was exhausting, but beautiful. Like, it was great. I'm working, I'm doing what I love. Like, by no means was I upset about it. I loved it, but it was I learned a ton from those projects that I did. And then came Kiss and Cry, which you and I worked on in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
Which was magic through and through.
Yeah, there were two like really sort of formative moments. I feel like Kiss and Cry is where you and I really started to become friends. It's not like again, we were peers. But but it's where I know. So I just didn't like you very much prior to that. But no, Kiss and Cry, so for me, on my side of that, I ended up helping coach you through like kind of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like we did a lot of pre-production stuff, and that also like informed script choices and all that stuff. So it ended up being really collaborative. But I became like deeply moved by that story, because Carley was obviously like one of your best friends. And for the audience, Kiss and Cry is a movie about Carley, Carley Allison, whom is this beautiful bright light, this incredible soul, whom was taken tragically from cancer from everybody early, and her family has now like created a charity, and so much good has been done through her life. And so Sarah was like besties with her, and you like shepherded this entire film, correct? Like you produced and all of this. So so first, like I ended up just watching you be a part of this and emotionally connecting to something that was so close to you, and like being able to help you navigate through all of that. Ended up being like this deeply moving experience where you would like leave coaching, and I would be like I would be like so like I don't know, just like just but in a really like positive way. Just like it became this thing that like you and I would start. Like I would start sending you pictures of dimes I found. Because it would be like messages from Carley. Yeah. And it became this like deeply personal thing for me. And talk to me about how you created that and how you got it going.
So I had wrapped full out, and I had gone to San Diego for the premiere.
Right.
And the director, Sean Cisterna, was just kind of like, he approached me and was like, I loved working with you, and I'm free. So if you want to do anything, and imagine an actor being like, no, I'm okay. I was like, yes, let's go. Like, And
Sean's such a great guy.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic. Cara had, before that premiere, she had passed away, I think 2 weeks before, which is why I was interested in kind of getting away from the city and having kind of a moment, and thinking it might be a good thing for me to have some space in a different place for a moment and stuff like that. And then Sean was just like, I'm here and I'm free.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, like, let me sit with that. Like, we're obviously busy doing this premiere, doing all these things. Let me sit with that and see what comes of it. So I went home. I spoke to my mom being like, he's kind of been like, world's your oyster. What do you want to do? And I was like, I got to do something. What do I want to do? And my mom, Lorene, again. Lorene, we love her. She was like, well, you've got to tell Carley's story. And I was like, you're right. And we spoke with her family, John. We made sure her loving boyfriend and we made sure that everyone was on board. Car was a phenomenal athlete and performer. She loved being in the spotlight, and she was so good at it. Yeah. And even if she wasn't physically, whether it's on ice or singing, even if she physically wasn't in the spotlight, she was the light at all times. Yeah. So, and that's why I think even after the experience, you were left with a good feeling, even though it was emotionally maybe heavy at times.
Yeah.
You always leave lighter somehow, because that's the Carley Allison way of doing things. Yeah. And that really is her legacy,
I would end coaching sessions and I would be like, because it was so close. It had just happened, and this young woman, she meant so much to you, and I would you would leave, and I would be like, shouldn't Sarah be more f***ed up about this? But it was just like you were somehow really able to emotionally connect to something that was so deeply close to you, while going through the grieving process. It was just fascinating, but in this wholly uncynical way. It was quite something.
Well, I think it's because it's like the Carley glow. She left me with it's so hard to put into words. It's so impossible to even put into words. But, and I think, again, who Carley was and will always be. And the thing is, I quickly turned it into my, when I hadn't started acting, I would write a song. I would write music. And when I started acting, I got to pour it into reliving some of the most beautiful moments that I shared with her, that I saw her experience. So while it was at times really, really hard and difficult to separate the personal with the job and the creating the story, we all knew it was what she would have wanted and loved. And that was the conversation that I needed to have, of course, with her, all of her people, her family and John, to make sure that everyone was on board with this being something they felt comfortable and good about sharing. And we all felt like this is what Car is the star. She was born a star. It has nothing to do with anything. I always say this, even if it's cheesy, it couldn't be more true, but her cancer made her 1 in 3.5 billion. She was the second known case of the cancer that she had. Oh. And I always said she was 1 in 3.5 billion for every reason other than cancer. And so, to dive into her story and relive some of these incredible moments. And John Servinas, her boyfriend, was just so beautifully vulnerable and open with us about really specific things that really belonged to them. Yeah. That we incorporated, like the pinky promises, the always smile, promise to always smile. So, there was so much. The kiss in the movie is one of my favorite moments because he takes the wig off. Right. And it's this gorgeous moment that they have. And he shared all this really personal stuff that really happened. Yeah. And every time we were going through script revisions, I was just bring it back to the story. Yeah. The second we went off, I said, bring it back, because her story is going to be better than anything you can write. Right. And Luke Billick, who played John, is a really good friend of mine. I love him. And he's a great actor, too. Great. Yeah, he's really good. John's in the movie. He's and there's a scene where the whole extended family, all of us are having dinner and meeting and all that. And he sat right beside Luke. John and nice. Luke sat together. And they have a moment where they look and they die laughing. And it crushed me every time I saw it, because they were so alike. And they look like brothers and some. And with playing Car, I always wanted to make sure that it wasn't just assumed I was going to, because the intention behind telling her story, I never wanted it to be seen as an opportunity for me to act. Right. And that wasn't what it was. I would have paid to make it happen. I would have stayed behind the scenes. So I made sure that was something I spoke about with Sean and the family and everyone, that I was happy to audition Carley's and see if, but I think after speaking with her family and Sean, kind of part of the story of creating the movie was that I am, her and I were and will always be so close. Right. That it was it felt like the most, I think, it just felt like it fit, I guess, because I know Carley. And I happen to, we look enough alike. We got our silly, blonde hair, blue eyes, we've got enough of what worked, that we were this actually really fits. Yeah. So
So yeah, it was this incredible film, and then the film did quite well. It was very well received, and I thought you guys did a wonderful job with it. Because it's like
Thank you.
one thing to like have the idea to make a movie about your friend who was so impactful, and it's another thing to like not.
No, for sure, for sure.
like-
Well, that's it. I remember so many moments where I was like, if this isn't done right, we shouldn't do it.
Right.
Like I was like, if this isn't done, like the hair, hair, makeup, wardrobe, producers, director, which of course was Sean, the actors, like everyone couldn't have been, like I'm so close to the cast still. My sisters, Julia Thompson, Brittany Bristow, are such good friends of mine, and Luke are such good friends of mine still to this day. But I remember at one point with the wigs, I was like, if this doesn't look right, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It has to look right. And I know we're working on a budget, but I remember having so many moments, and again with the script and always bringing it back to her story and all these things. And what Sean Cistern is so fantastic. We talked every day for hours for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And he became such a good friend. And he was pretty incredible because he, at one point, for some of my scenes, he let me come in and actually edit my own scene a little bit, which was pretty incredible. So I went, this moment you need to keep, that moment you need to keep. Like I was able to actually kind of look at it.
And that's why there's that one scene in there where there's nothing but your face. Yeah. It's like, there's another actor in this scene?
When we hug, I went, pan to me. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Punch in on me. Stay there.
Get closer. Stay there.
Never stop.
He's like, but the scene's not about you. Shut your mouth. I'm right there. That's great. no, but I sang it at actual, the anthem at actually a live game, which was terrifying.
Yes.
Not because I've been a singer before, an actor, so it wasn't in that way, but I was like, if I mess up these words, I'm going to be one of those people.
The Depo Camera.
Yeah. And I always look at those videos because I'm like, oh, that's like my heart goes out to you, but it's a little funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if I'm one of those people?
Yeah.
But that was a really special moment because I was there one of the nights Cara did.
Didn't you have your dad like off, like just mouthing the words of "O Canada"?
No, one was. I couldn't see anybody because it was a live game, and they were like, "Can you sing the American as well?" I was like, "Please don't make me do that," because I'm so scared of forgetting the words to "O Canada." And so many people were like, "Don't you sing it all the time?" And I was like, "But do we? Like in school, when we did we really sing it?"
Did we pay attention?
I was like, I know it, but nerves are a crazy thing. And I was gonna write them on my hand, and Sean after put my mitten off and saw that I had nothing there. And I was like, no, I just trusted that I knew it. And it was great. But it was really magical actually because I was there, the NHL just loved Carley. She loved hockey.
Yeah.
And she sang, I think, twice. And I was there one of the nights that she sang. And she wore an outfit, this blue dress, white blazer, her hair in a bun with a big bow, very Carley. And I wore her outfit that night when I sang, which was really special.
Nice.
So once we wrapped, we ended up selling to Netflix worldwide for 6 years. We went around the world with festivals. Honestly, I only was able to go to Ireland, Germany, but we were in Russia, we were in Florida, we went all over, and winning some awards and stuff here and there as well. And it was really cool because someone from set said it's the Little Big movie. Because it was such a little budget movie, independent film, that I think touched a lot of people's hearts because that's what Carley does.
Yeah.
So, and we all still find dimes to this day. I found one the other day.
Every time
and I keep
find
them
a
every
dime,
time.
I think of Carley, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even meet her.
I know,
it's
but
wild.
that's, that happened to Julia Tomazon as well. I said, now that you're in Carley's world, you're going to find them. You'll find these dimes. And for anyone who doesn't, know, but it's called Dimes from Heaven, and it's this idea that, or belief, I'm not sure exactly, but if you find a dime, it's more rare and uncommon than finding a penny. So if you find one, it's a message from someone you've lost that loves you, that they're here and they see you. Yeah. And I've been finding them ever since. I have stories that make no sense where I found them, and I was like, knowing Carley and how hilarious she was, and will always be, I was like, she's probably going, because like she did, like there were ones where I was like, oh, like it made no sense that it was there.
Yeah.
No sense. But after I said to Julia, I said, Jules, you're going to find them. And on her subway ride home, she said, guys. And she just sent a photo of a dime. So it just, the magic didn't stop.
That's
ever.
amazing.
And it never will.
That. Yeah. And like, you, I think, are uniquely suited to play somebody who is so effervescent and magical. And it's like, it's funny because this like leads into when, so we had done that, and I'd gotten to know you, and I was like, there was still some part of me that was like, no way is this positivity real. Like it can't be real. It's got to be exhausting, you know. And then we ended up doing a movie in Cuba. We shot a movie in Cuba.
Sure
that was like, and we spent 3 weeks in Cuba together. And that was when I was like, holy shit, it's real. Like, because you got like, there were moments on that movie where you got genuinely mad. Like
I got
like,
so mad. Oh my God.
But like,
so
but
mad.
It's fascinating because like without compartmentalizing your life, like you'll be like extremely mad about something. And also like at the same time, very grateful for the larger thing that you're a part of. And it happens all at once. And I was like, there were moments when I was just like watching this happen and I was like, how do you exist? But it's so genuine. And that was when I was like, all right, I got to be friends with this person. I think she's going to make me a better person.
Thank you, friend.
So this is my process that was going on underneath. There was like 20% of me that was still like, I think Sarah
like kind of mad about it, like kind of pissed.
Like, this can't be real.
I don't like it.
And
but
like,
I love it.
and the further you've gone in your journey, it feels as though it's never waned, which is wild because most people within the industry, like, you can always find a reason to become cynical, like in any career.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But ours, like, it's just like Rejection the musical, you know? And each number is just you lost. And then like, you know, 100%. One day the musical ends. And you somehow seem into it. And it's great. And it's like, and you're endlessly creative. Has that like been something that you've cultivated intentionally? And by the way, you're allowed to have a bad day. Like you can be like,
oh yeah,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But maintaining that positivity, is that something that you like, you were just born with? Like maybe it's Maybelline, but like, or is this something that you consciously try to bring into your life and into your process?
I think, I mean, I'm a clone of my mother. And
Lorraine
comes in and again, Lorraine, get over here.
Lorraine, you sweet sweetie.
And my dad, Stuart, who are just such beautiful humans.
We always have somebody named Stu and someone named Lorraine.
We do because, God, they're fun folks.
They are
fun folks. No, but I'm very fortunate and lucky. I had a really beautiful childhood. I was able to be a kid for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like I was a very young soul for a really long time. Still am, obviously, but
she's 87.
I'm 93.
It's shocking. Shocking her hips still work.
Yeah, but so I think and they always supported what I did. When it was music, turned into acting, and still music has always kind of found its way in, which I love. But they've always been 150% behind me. Yeah. Because it's already such a hard thing to build on your own, the belief that you can really do this.
Yeah.
That to have other people you have to convince, you already have to convince yourself. So if you're spending so much of that energy and time trying to get everyone around you to back you, that's so much, that's tough. That's so hard. And I feel like I've been so lucky, and I don't take it for granted at all that I've had just consistent support the whole time. So that's huge. And I think Carley was a huge influence on me as well. And I just think it's kind of in my blood a little bit that I do try my best to look for the beautiful things, the good things, the happy things, the making light, finding the funny, even if something's tough, like trying to, and I have my days. You've seen them, I have them, but
for sure.
But I mean, I think I've also realized I need it to survive in the industry and to survive life. I want to be able to look at all the things that are really great without ignoring that there are tough, hard, emotionally heavy things that happen in the world, and not being, naive to it to a point where I'm in some sort of denial. Like it's not about that. But I think a big practice is and I don't even want to say it's cheesy. It just feels like it because I feel like it's talked about so much. But I do think gratitude is one of the most important things we have. And I wake up every morning doing an out loud journal to myself. And a big part of it is like...
I'm sure Caleb loves that.
He does.
I am trying to sleep.
I'm grateful for the stars as they have gone down.
And I'm just looking out the window like, my God, do I love... And he's like, shut up. No, he's the best. He's the best. But I do my chats, and he'll be like, you still chatting? And I'm like, just a moment, love. And he'll make breakfast, and I'm just like... My goodness. I'm just like having a moment. But it gets me through. I think about especially when it is tough or you're frustrated or you're like, where are the auditions? Where's the this, that, you know,
No, I do the same thing. Every morning when I walk Tundra, I always do like a gratitude
it's so
prayer.
helpful. Because when you focus on abundance, more abundance comes your way. And I really believe that. Because when you focus on everything you don't have, that's your filter. That's everything that you see.
Like in a situation like that, you can have everything and you will feel like you have nothing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I realize that it's a never-ending battle. You're never going to feel like you have it all anyway.
Yeah.
Like there's no point of arrival. And that's something I've thought a lot about lately is I always had this idea of, yeah, but then you get that one thing and you're there. And I'm like, doesn't exist.
Yeah, you would think like Elon Musk would be happier if that were true.
Right.
Know?
So true. Yeah. I do. But it's true. It's so true. You know, we're on this never-ending journey of learning and growing as people and as actors and artists, and there is no point of arrival. So instead of constantly wishing I were somewhere other than where I am, I'm trying to go, because I got to a point where I was like, I'm never going to be happy with my work because the second I see it, it's a year later, and I'm like, I'm better now. I want to do it again.
Right.
But I had to stop and go, no, that's not going to serve me well. It's like, I need to be able to go, that was my best at the time and it was enough.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about art in general. It's like art can be extremely valuable and successful, and you are always going to become a better artist.
Always.
Like you're only going to get better.
Yeah.
I think that makes complete sense. I think it's like, it's very wise. Like you said cheesy, but I don't think it's cheesy to like scientifically gratitude has been proven to be like an incredibly important part of like mental health and wellness.
Yeah.
And it's even interesting, like you were talking about the news and all that stuff, like you don't want to be naive. And there's something that you do, and I think it's like maybe you consciously do it, maybe you don't, but like I think more and more in society, we've become really obsessed with like the macro. Like entire generations have grown up with the internet, and they're like, oh my God, climate change, I have to solve the world, you know? And it's like, well, you can't. Don't try.
Yeah.
Make your individual, like the world in which you operate and make it better. Focus on that.
Yeah.
And if everybody is doing that, then the world will get better. And I do think that listen, I can speak to myself. There are days, like Bree will attest to this. Like there are days when you and I are writing, and I'll be like in the middle of a bunch of shit, and I'll be like super burned out, and I'll just be like, well, I gotta get out of this, right? But then like I spend 5 minutes in your orbit, and all of a sudden, like I feel much better. Like you make the world better around you, and I think that's an incredible thing.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, man. I freaking need it a lot.
Thank you.
No, for the love of gratitude, Caleb. I'm just gonna start calling Caleb and be like, Caleb, I'm grateful.
Oh my God, please do.
It's gonna be like, Doug, you're on Eastern
Within months,
Standard
you're both
Time.
just fully
It is
crying,
2
being
in
like,
the
you know,
morning.
I'm grateful for you.
Exactly.
Best friends.
Just besties.
I love it.
So you made the move out to LA,
Yes.
and how has that affected your life? Have like positive, negative challenges? I mean, you still come back here, but
Oh yeah, no, moving to LA was amazing. But you know what, the thing is, I think moving to LA made me grow exponentially, like in such a big way as a human.
right.
And I think it's a beautiful thing, you know, to stay and live where you grew up. Like I think that there's so much beauty and so many wonderful things to that. I never thought I was going to leave, ever. Thought I was going to move my life, ever.
To
a different place. I feel like a lot of people who do that have it in them where they're like, I need to go. I never had that. But I went through a really tough breakup, and I just was like, I can do all these things. I could move my life to some other place.
This is so fucking like you. You go through a terrible breakup, and I know the context around it, and we're not going to talk shit because
totally.
That's like because
Totally.
listen, nobody
Appreciate
gets through this life without hurting or being hurt.
Sure, absolutely.
Hurting and being hurt. But you're like and then you're just like, a world of discovery is upon me.
I'm pretty sure it went like this. Sometimes I feel like I broke out in song and dance one day, and I went,
sun rises this day. Whereas I'm like, I should try alcoholism. Like, I haven't made myself miserable enough lately.
Oh my God. No, but you sing all the time too. I like to
do,
think that together, if we were upset together, which I hope never happens,
We would just
but if
be-
we're both having a bad day together, I hope one of us just goes, how do you feel? Not good, Doug. And then we
Very
we
bad
fall.
today.
And we just fall.
My heart is heavy with grief.
Oh, this is what we do. 90% of our
it's
relationship
true.
is this. No,
So you moved to LA after some heartbreak. The world was your oyster.
I moved to LA, song and dance, all the things. I actually, you know what the funniest thing is? My first moment being like, I did it. I was at, oh God, what's it called? Some juice place, but one where I'm like, as if I thought I could afford to keep coming here, living here, like $12 a juice. I'm like, no, this is not gonna last. But it was my first moment being like, I did it.
This is not gonna last.
I'm in the big city, and I was like, oh my God. And I within 2 months of the idea of being like, I think I need to go to LA. And go, my promise to myself was it has to be for a minimum of 6 months, even if I'm crying every day miserable, I will stick it out for 6 months. And now it's been 3 years.
And you've been miserable the entire time. It's just when we think it's a real problem. It's a real problem.
But I had my moment. I land, within 2 months, packed my bags, stayed at a friend's who I'd done a movie with, got to this bougie ass place. I sit, I have my frozen yogurt, and acai bowl, if you will. I'm sipping along, and I'm like, God, I did it. And within a second, 6 cop cars pull up, and I'm like, get on the ground, get on the ground. And I was like, ah!
What?
A man got fully arrested right in front of me in my moment. And
Not while you were having your acai bowl.
not during a moment. I was eating my banana and my like berry mix, and I was like, God, it's good. Just get on the ground. I was like, oh my God. And I'm just like packing up to go. So I always love that story because it was just such a funny way for that to go down.
Yeah.
But I'm
like waiting for the moral of this, and that was Obama, and he became president shortly thereafter.
It's been very eye-opening. But I've learned so much, that it's bled into my acting work in a huge way. But it's because as a human I've grown and adulted, and it just kind of feels very quickly. I got emotionally hit with a lot of, realizations in life and who am I? Because I think when you're far away from where you know yourself really well, like in Toronto, Sarah's this person.
Yeah.
I get to go, who is she? And who do I want to be? And who, so yeah, I've just done a lot of self-work in LA, and that's just really, really influenced my work as an actor. And I'm only getting more and more excited about how it's going to influence my work.
Yeah.
Because I feel so different. And I've done a lot of hard work myself on that. And I met my partner, Caleb Rubiner, who's just the best human. And he's taught me so much about, like in a personal way and career-wise. He's just like an encyclopedia for our industry. You ask him anything and he knows what it is immediately.
Accepted.
Yeah, go for it. You're like, Caleb, I'm going to tell you what I'm grateful for, and then I'm going to just quiz you.
This is my morning gratitude call for Caleb, and then also I have some questions.
I have some questions, but he's been incredible. So I've been so happy out there, and I miss the people here all the time. Yeah. Miss you all the time. So I love being able to come home as often as I can. But yeah, as of right now, that's where we are, and we're really happy there. And yeah, it's been a wonderful journey. I'm excited about it.
It's really cool. I've had a few moments of this, like moves allow you to be untethered from expectation, and you get to just be like, well, who am I?
Yeah. Oh,
like removed from the lenses of anything, and that's such a great thing. And it's cool because, like, again, as your friend and collaborator, like, we've developed 2 series together now.
Yeah.
The richness of everything that you do creatively is just like growing and growing and growing. I feel like it's one of those things that it's like, as you get into the self-growth world, like not in like the hashtag self-growth, like there's a lot of people that like, you listen to the podcast and you read the books, but you don't like get into it with
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
And-
you don't
and-
actually
and-
dive deep into it, which is hard.
Yeah,
Very
well,
hard to do.
And I have gone through phases of that. Like if you talked to me
everyone.
like 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, I'm deep into self-help book because I just like fucking read Brene Brown.
100%.
You know, but I was still like a piece of shit in a lot of situations. You know, but like, but as you start to do it, I feel like it compounds. It's like it starts little by little, and then all of a sudden it starts like growing really fast.
Oh yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
super cool because like you have these insights creatively within our scripts that are just like so human and so uniquely you. I mean, we're also writing these things for you as the lead, which makes sense. But like these characters that like you could turn into narcissism, exercises, turn into these like beautifully fleshed out, hilarious versions of you that like you're so willing to be self-deprecating and to make jokes about yourself.
My favorite thing to do.
It's so good. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you did that and you've like built this life
Thanks,
out
my
there.
friend.
It's
Yeah.
super
Thank
cool.
you.
Okay, so we're in this weird land where we can't talk about this yet, but we're going to talk about it because it's going to be fun.
We're going to talk about it because it's going to be fun.
Filming. So
Yeah.
season 2 of When Hope Calls is a thing, and you got picked up, and that's super great. And I'm super
Thank you.
excited for you.
Thank you.
So talk to me about that show, working on it, and
Yeah.
what season 2 means to you.
Oh my goodness. Well. You know what? What's really fun, what was actually really a reason I was excited to take on the audition and to be excited to be a part of the project is that it's a time period piece, which I've never done. Like that was a big pull for me. I was like, I've never done that before. Yeah. And I love to be challenged at all times. And I was, it's been really, really awesome. It's been really fun. I have like 50 hair extensions and I get like a mermaid braid, which is like just a dream come true, you know?
Yep.
And I'm wearing like curtains every day and it's amazing. I mean, the wardrobe department are amazing, but these are like, you're wearing like heavy like these incredible, and not just places you write in the world already, let alone the set is incredible.
Yeah.
You're with horses. My first scene was Hannah rides in on a donkey carriage. I went, great, stunning. Get me on that carriage. And Kramer the donkey is just one of the best.
Kramer the donkey?
One of the best ones. Yeah, he was so cute.
He's actually played by Daniel Day-Lewis.
But it's like, it's been really awesome. I mean, look, it's like, it's great. It's great to do what you love, but then also on top of that, to have like a story that you're excited about. And again, the fact that it's back in the 1920s is something I find so interesting. And there's a lot of learning in that to be like, okay, cool. What did that look like? How would I walk into a room? How would I present myself? What has my character, Hannah Lawrence, what has she had to do to be in the position she's in to own a business at that time? What did that look like? Right. How does that influence, again, how she presents herself in every way? And it's been that has added an additional part of the work as an actor that I've really enjoyed a lot. Yeah,
I love period pieces because there's like this real element of like, 1, research, and 2, playing pretend. So much of film and TV is contemporary, and it feels as though we're here and we're in life, which is a really wonderful immediate thing. Yeah. But then you add period into it, and all of a sudden it's like, are we playing dress up? Like there's a whole other fun element to it.
It's so true because it's so, I had come off of, it's very, you're so right. It feels like more of the make pretend.
It feels like you're really acting. Right? I don't know if that makes sense, but.
No, I know what you mean. Part of, I think, the connection and sort of booking the role of Hannah Lawrence came from Someone Like You, a movie that I did where I played 2 characters. Right. Which was really amazing. We were filming in Nashville and it was incredible. We went to theaters, had a huge theatrical release, which was really cool. And I'd come off that and then went to this one. And that one's very real, raw, grounded, human story, which I loved. And then hopping over to this project where I get to dive back and it's like, even on the set, like the carriages, like during your scene, there's a horse and carriage going by, like all these little things. Just you get lost in the world so much, which is obviously our favorite thing. Yeah, I quite love that. Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I'm really excited to see where you go in season 2. I'm psyched that you get to be filming. I'm secretly psyched that you're going to be in town, so we can like. I know. Click and clack and jam on stuff. Yeah, can't wait. Super cool. I'm so excited. Yeah, but like, we kind of got to bring this thing into land, and obviously I've said a million nice things about you, but I am so happy that you have continued success, have so far had continued success in this industry, and
usually we end this with like a question that I'm going to ask you, which is if you could go back in time and give one piece of advice to just starting out Sarah Fish, what would it be?
Man, that is such a hard question.
It can be bad
I'd be
advice.
like,
It doesn't have to be good.
how much time do you have? I'd be like, girl, I'm gonna sit you down for a month and we're gonna go through a lot of shit. And it's gonna make your life a lot easier. You know what? I think, God, I have so many things, but I think one of them is to fall in love with this first, like with who you are.
Oh my gosh, that's
God.
such a good answer, Lorene. You raised a good daughter. Oh, Lorene.
Because something I believe really strongly is it's far easier to use a billion excuses and point fingers at the industry, at every single person and situation around you. And that is not to say that people and situations don't suck sometimes, because they fucking suck sometimes. But if you believe in you, and you love you, and we have hard days with that too. Like that's a hard thing. That's a practice.
Yeah.
But if you can get to that place where you trust what's here, you are the biggest reason you're either never going to get where you want to go, or you're going to live exactly the dream life that you wanted. It might look like details might be a little different than you expect them to be.
Right.
Your way in might be totally different than what you thought it was going to look like. But you will be the biggest reason that you get there. So you'll also equally be the biggest reason you don't. So if you can fall in love with yourself and go, I trust and believe in what I have, and I'm going to keep getting better.
Yeah.
I'm never going to stop. Nothing will stop me. I don't care if I get so mad at the industry and I don't work for 5 years. I'm not stopping. I won't. I can't. And I think that's the thing a lot of artists feel, is they feel like I can't do anything else. Not because I wouldn't want to, not because I might get to a place where I'm like, but because I'm in love. And that won't stop. So I think focus inward and trust that you therefore do have some sense of control over your career, in a career where we feel like we have none.
Yeah.
That puts you in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a good answer. That's a damn good answer.
My friend, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I just appreciate you so much. I'm really proud of what you're doing. You've created such a safe space for actors to really talk about it. And I love watching all of them. I really do. Because it's just, you feel part of a community. You're building that.
That's
a
real
really
nice.
safe community. I'm really proud of you.
I appreciate that. I'm proud of you too.
Thanks,
my friend.
Yay!
All right. I think we got it. We good? Yeah. Okay, so if you're here, you made it to the end of this conversation, and I hope that you're filled with the same level of delight that I was when I finished the conversation with Sarah, and that I've been filled with every time that I talk to her in real life, because she's just the sweetest one ever. Thanks for being here at the end of the pod. Thanks for making it all the way through. Thank you for your support of this podcast. This is such a podcasty thing to do, but honestly, if you're here and you found this valuable, like, subscribe, rate, comment, share. These things make a huge difference. Follow us on Instagram or TikTok at @Nyback. Also, you can check out my Foundations program, which is an online acting course that gives you literally everything you need to know to craft a bookable audition. So if you are new to film and television performance, or you're someone who just graduated from theater school, you found us here, check that out, because it's going to save you so much time and money. And you can also, if you really want to support us, check us out on the Patreon. It's in the doobly-doo thing in the links, and that will give you access to all of my online courses, as well as all sorts of other content. And access to like one-on-one coaching that I do with clients and all sorts of things. So bloopers, it's cool. It's cool. Listen, it's cool. And I appreciate you being here because you're cool. And I hope you have a wonderful near future. In the meantime, go be people.